you have these kind of team players with you. You know how you want your team to behave. You have to behave like that as a team member. So you become a model follower. That's leadership principle number one. What are the other two ones? The
Monitor.
monitor your heart. So monitoring your heart is what kind of when you're doing that, when you're following this ideal, when doing the right thing, even as a team member, you also observe whether your heart space it is in the right place, whether you are really treating the others the way you want to be treated, which means that um, the way you like the kind of perspective you have towards the world and other people will be based on love and truth.
Yes.
How you behave with others and how you are connected with your higher self, that is God.
Vertical. That is vertical, and others is horizontal. So
Horizontal.
the
Yeah.
huge in both the space. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
And the third
think I
one,
have And I think I have missed to summarize the points of this particular three leadership principles, which I will do today before I summarize today's reading session, so that
yeah,
others also will benefited.
right. And the
And that's
last point is is
making a
uh,
plan.
is to make a plan. Yeah, because this is something that many of us don't really bother to do. But when you make a plan, you actually know where you currently are. You have some kind of clarity. Otherwise, future will appear like a dark thing, for most of us. So it's like shining a light when there is complete darkness. When you make a plan, it will start. You'll start developing a vision. You'll start developing a ichha or a sankalpa on what you want, and then you develop the discipline and accountability. And when you're on the track, you'll find that somehow through the divine connection, clarity will be shown whether that's really the right thing or not, and things like that. So not to worry too much about what to start off with or when to start off with. Just start off with right now. Have a vision, and then around that the plan will come up. Where you are right now, how you're going towards your vision, and then you'll suddenly start finding that things will start falling into place practically on a day-to-day basis.
Yes, nicely
Very
summarized.
practical and useful. Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you want to go from here? Actually, we are starting today. Know where you are. Let's start from here so that the context will not be diluted.
Yeah.
Or maybe let's start from the leadership plan number 3.
Yeah.
So one of you please take the lead and start reading.
Yeah. I'll read.
Okay.
Self self leadership principle number 3: making a plan. To lead yourself well, you need a plan. You will not lead yourself well by accident. It must be intentional. I call it a lead me plan. Everyone needs to be able to answer this question. What are you doing to lead yourself well? What is your lead me plan? To lead you well, you need to focus on three simple aspects. One, know where you are currently. Two, have a vision for where you want to go. And three, develop the discipline and accountability to do what it takes to stay on track. Know where you are. As you are developing a lead me plan, the greatest mistake you can make is to inflate your own leadership ability. You have gifts, talents, and experience and education that got you where you are. Don't try to fool yourself. You haven't arrived. What got you there will not get you where you want to be. Jim Collins noted this mistake made by some successful leaders and companies in How the Mighty Fall and Why Some Companies Never Give In. He called it the hubris of success. The first misstep success brings is to credit the success to your own doing. But this only sets leaders up for future failure. Truly great leaders, no matter how successful they become, maintain a learning curve as steep as when they first began their careers. It's probably humility. For you to maintain a steep learning curve in this season of your life, you will need to be honest about where you are and how you got there. This kind of gut level assessment of where you are will only happen by asking for it. People around you love you. They really do. They want you to get better. They want you to grow. But rarely will someone love you enough to give you the full truth. I see people walking around with untied shoes, susceptible to tripping, and no one around them is courageous enough to tell them. If you want to know where you are and how you're doing, you have to ask. One of our key leadership roles recently opened up, and we started talking about who we were going to hire for the position. During the conversation, someone brought up two names of people inside our organization who were interested in the job. The problem was that they had some pretty big gaps in their leadership skills that would keep them from being considered for the job. I asked the person who manages them if the employees were aware of these gaps that were keeping them from being considered. The answer I received was inconclusive, and that frustrated me for their sakes. We won't improve unless someone is honest with us. Most of the big employment decisions in your career will happen when you're not in the room. That's sobering, but I know it's been true for my career. I've gotten jobs and I've lost jobs based on what people have said about me in rooms where I was not present. At times, some have spoken positively about me, and at other times, some have spoken negatively about me. Either way, it's their opinion of me that matters. The same is true about your career. The people you work for have thoughts about you. They may even have thoughts about your future. It doesn't help you if there is something keeping you from an opportunity, but you are the only one who doesn't know it. Before you put a plan together for your own growth, you should ask your boss a question. If an opportunity for promotion came available, what would keep you from fully recommending me? The answer to that question could be the genesis of your personal growth plan. A word of advice on this: I wouldn't ambush your boss with that question. Send him an email to tee it up and mention that you would like to ask him some questions to help you in your job performance. Then follow up in person. And be aware that most people will resist answering that question because it is difficult to answer. Still, the feedback you receive is a good place to start. Follow it up with input from others as well.
Yes, very true. Thank you, Ramesh. And when when you were reading, right, I was also thinking, if my teammates ask me this question, then how should I respond, and what should it be from my version? Whether I should directly point them out to the yearly goal plan goals and objective that we do in the office given tool, or I should give the my personal opinion of what exactly I want from them, and all those things were actually going. And I agree what author is saying here. Be aware that most people will resist answering that question because it is difficult to answer.
Yeah.
And I think definitely others would be also kind of able to relate to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have to actually think, because we are at one point playing the role of a manager or self managing ourselves, and also we are reporting to someone, be it a customer, be it a
Boss.
boss, or everywhere actually. Even the same thing can be applied in our home. Suppose we are having our own business, then it can be applied with our client, with our customer. We can ask the customer that what is it that you have an expectation from me, so that we can have long-term relationship, and it can grow further. We can ask our spouse the same question, so that we can have better relationship and the expectations matches effortlessly.
Mm.
Because another thing why actually we need to ask is because many times actually where we are little hidden to ourselves, because when someone else is giving the opinion and giving their perspective, it has something more than what we can usually see. That is why it is very important to ask feedback. The feedback you receive is a good place to start. Follow it up with input from others as well.
But isn't it important to ask, to also be aware that not everybody is wise, or maybe they might be having their own strong filters because of their natures.
Hmm.
And therefore, we have to accept their input through
With a
wisdom.
pinch of salt, yes.
Yeah, with discretion and wisdom. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So not everything that comes as a feedback might be true or might
True.
be
Yeah.
correct,
Relevant. Yeah.
irrelevant, but at least we'll be having some idea. Few things which we feel without much of prejudice, if we can evaluate, then we will definitely understand that which of them are valid and need to be acted upon, and which of them we can politely say that okay, I agree with your viewpoint. You have a valid point from your point of view. However, it might be possible that I am doing my best and some communication gap is there. And let's
Mm.
look forward to reduce that communication gap instead. Because this problem, particular problem or feedback that you have given me, is not existing as per my perspective. So if it is not
Yeah.
a
Maybe.
reality, then it is a communication gap, nothing else. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've observed, if I listen to this, I have done these exercises before. So if I
Hmm.
listen to this through my gut feeling, I
Hmm.
normally get to know if something is appropriate or not. And then if I'm in a space of silence and being mindful, then I will be able to respond in a sensible manner without emotions, but in a practical, you know,
Yes, exactly.
with good intention.
Mindfulness definitely helps. Or just do the meditation and then decide. That also helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
So who wants to go next? Okay, let me take it up. Where you want to go? This is the second step that we need to follow when we are making a plan. Once you know where are you, the next step is to develop a clear vision for where you want to go. This is often overlooked when people work on a lead me plan. One of my weakness as a leader is vision, both personally and professionally. I am much more comfortable responding to opportunities rather than looking down the road a few years and imagining my future. Imagining future that is called vision is not that easy, and many leaders actually lacks this. Right. A few years ago, my boss approached me with a potential promotion. I called my good friend Bryson to tell him the news. His response bewildered me. In fact, his response was no response. I had to repeat myself because I thought maybe he had not heard me. After telling him again, there was no response again. So I had to ask him, "What do you think about that?" I fully expected him to say, "Wow, that is so great! Congrats, dude! It seems appropriate." Instead, he said, "Man, I have got got to be honest. I don't know whether to say congrats or sorry. I just do not know what you want, so I don't know what to say. It feels like they are just yanking you around without giving you a say. Just seems like you need to figure out what you want to do with your life before I know how to respond." We all need friends like that. We need friends who reminds us that we are not just responding to opportunities and circumstances. We each need to have a personal vision of our own lives, a plan for our futures. Without a personal vision for your life, how do you know what you do with the opportunities that present themselves, especially the good ones like a promotion? Wow, this is so deep. Even the promotion also might not be taking us where actually we want to go. This may be so
Right.
struggle because it looks like a very great opportunity from its face value. But if it is not aligned with what exactly I want to do in my life, then I will be leading towards the opposite direction in a faster pace. And so that is why he is saying we all need friends like that who just not jump and say good, congrats, great, and all those things in the very usual manner. But honest answer would be really helpful. Self leadership means spending the necessary time and effort to determine your personal vision for your future. I see many young leaders who have no clear sense of direction, and that can be paralyzing. And while people will probably tell you that your plan for your life rarely works out the way you think. There are very few people actually
Yeah.
who will probably you tell you that your plan for your life rarely works out the way you think it will. Aiming at nothing will take you nowhere. Aiming at nothing will take you nowhere. It is dangerous to hold too tightly to the plan we have determined for ourselves. But it is just the dangerous, but it is just as
Just
dangerous
as
to
it.
have no vision or direction for stewarding the gifts, talents, and opportunities God has given us. So it is dangerous, but it's just as dangerous to have no vision or direction. So it is not, he is mentioning the word as dangerous. If we do not have a vision or a direction, how we are, if we are not having any vision, then it is really dangerous. There are few questions that have helped me zero in how to respond to what God has put me in front of me. Must be very important questions. So, how to respond to what God has put me? Okay. First is, if money were no issue, what would I choose to be with time, with my time? If I
To
have,
do.
yeah, if I have everything that is needed for leading the life that I want, or without much of constraint, then the time that is available to me, how really I would choose to lead. And if people who do not have the clarity, they will say, okay, I won't do anything, I'll just lie down, being lazy and doing nothing. But believe it or not, that is their ignorance. That if that is given to them for say 1 month or 2 months at a stretch, they will feel bored out of that also. So this is the clarity actually which matters.
Yeah.
And the second question is the what really bothers me? What really bothers me? What breaks my heart? What really bothers me? That also we need to know. If I know where actually I get hurt easily, then only I can make some necessary step to deal with those kind of situations. If I don't know, then every time I will end up breaking my emotions and maybe frustrating others also. So I need to know what really bothers me, what breaks me or breaks my heart. Then third question that we need to ask is what makes me pound the table in frustration or passion? Extreme emotion, we can say. What makes me pound the table? Either in frustration it can happen, or it can happen in passion also. But the extreme emotion when actually I face, in which all scenarios. The last question that we need to ask to understand is what gives me life or make me come alive. The other question that we can ask is how would I love to spend my life? What gives me life or make me come alive? See, people when they do or pursue their passion or hobby, they feel very alive, but they still do the job because it is really required for their living, to earn the living, coming somehow towards the ikigai. So spend time answering these questions with other people that know you well. It's one of the most critical ingredient to leading yourself well. The more and more we ask this question to ourselves and to the people who know us, we will get the necessary clarity.
I know some happy-go-lucky people
Mm-hmm.
who don't plan, who just live by the day,
Mm-hmm.
and they're very satisfied with whatever they have. But such people generally they have enough. Their needs are all met, or they acknowledge life inherently. Their attitude towards life is generally great, thankful, and they get what they want by sheer chance or good luck or whatever. I feel it's good prarabdha karma. In fact, I've heard that
Yes.
some lives are like holiday lives, like once in seven lives or once in nine lives. You have a holiday life where when you see such people, then everything will just be falling into place. They don't have to put in much effort. But at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, yeah, what he's saying is right. I mean, if you just keep living life like a like a vegetable, or you're just existing, there's no growth, and ultimately moksha will get delayed. So that
Yes.
is the basis
So,
behind all these cycles of lives that we go through.
so when we see others' life, we generally see in chunks.
Hmm.
Life in totality, we can never ever see. First,
Hmm.
first of all, life of that person, even he himself does or herself doesn't know how it
Hmm.
is from the beginning till end. There are many births actually involved in one person's life, and all the birth, whatever karma that he has done, the
Hmm.
fruits of everything accumulatedly impact and gives the result. Now, we might be seeing only the youth part, of that
Yeah.
person and would be thinking, okay, he is a lucky go person and everything is going very well. But maybe
Yeah.
in his childhood, in his or her
Mm.
childhood, he or she would have really done very, very hard work and made it to a stage or come up to a stage wherein actually
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
that also a person who is having multi-billion billion industry
Mm.
also we might be thinking that oh how lucky they are, but
Yeah.
how they reach to that stage only they know. And to
Yeah.
some extent now consider the other scenario wherein actually the child who bonds in their family, say suppose in Mukesh Ambani's family who are getting like Anand Ambani or whoever. So they are
Mm.
born with a silver spoon. So
Yes.
for them actually in their past life, lot
Yeah.
of good karma they have done. That is why in the
Correct.
beginning only they are getting the opportunity to like lead a lavish life with all everything is like kind of taken care.
Mm. Correct.
But we don't know the next birth how it will be, or towards the once the prarabdha karma is completed, how it would turn to be.
Correct. Even
So
if they're
if
born
they
with a
are
silver
working,
spoon, yeah, even if they're
hmm,
born with silver spoon or good looks or whatever it may be,
hmm,
ultimately, even in this life, you can get into trouble because of your wealth and your looks or whatever it is that you have. Like
yes,
if you look at these actors, actresses, the
yeah,
Nepo kids, for example, they might not exactly have a very peaceful and life full of trupti. They might be
hmm,
with the Joneses. The other actor's son has bought a Rolls Royce and I don't have. They can feel very
hmm,
miserable. They can feel
yes,
even more miserable than a person who doesn't have, is not able to buy
yeah,
food, for example. So
yeah.
you never know.
Yes.
Yeah,
So we generally judge if a person is having a lot of wealth, then that person is a lucky person. That is what actually we
I think.
generally judge. That is
Yeah,
not exactly true. Even say the case of Anant Ambani, his health condition, if you have seen,
yeah, yeah,
variety of issues actually he has faced, and he has actually somehow got into a perfect shape. Then again, he become very fat
yeah,
and being fat actually is a biggest curse. Even though he has world of wealth,
yeah,
but health is not there. So similarly,
yeah.
mental
Even his
health might
son,
be also different.
correct. Even his son also is
Um,
one of them has a health problem. No? Anant Ambani.
his son, Anand Ambani's his son. Okay, I don't know
Yeah, the
about.
one Mukesh Ambani's son who got married recently. He's very fat and he's had a health problem and all that.
He's only Anand Ambani.
Ah,
So,
that's what.
so that is what actually we. So now that we understand that it is all karma and it is
Yeah,
again not full-fledged for everyone. There is no lucky kind of happy-go-lucky kind of person forever. It is all cyclic. So
mm,
we
maybe.
need to come up with a plan how we want to lead our life, and for that clarity is required. For that, actually, we need to keep asking the questions and keep our plans ready. What is the
Yeah,
uh, one thing which God has given life for us? For what actually God has given me life,
yeah,
where I am currently, where I want to go. And the third one is even more important, which we will deal or understand tomorrow. That is the discipline and accountability. This part actually is very, very critical. Many come and up to this actually somehow they can complete, but
yeah,
the accountability, keeping the accountability and being disciplined is a challenge for many, many, many. And we'll
yeah,
see what is the author's perspective tomorrow, how we can be more accountable to ourselves, and whatever plan we made, we can lead ourselves in that. So that
yeah.
is tomorrow's
Mm,
uh, agenda. So don't miss this golden opportunity. Maybe we can discipline ourselves very easily
yeah,
by this process, the things which author is going to give us insight.
yeah. Especially as a parent, I find it's more important that we are disciplined because that's the best way to bring up our children if we ourselves follow it first.
Yes, yes. Great. Thank you all. only greeting end. And Milinji, if you can, if you have
I
some
will. I will
time.
stay. I'll stay. Yeah, yeah. And thanks for Ramesh discussion. I was just listening. It syncs with all my example. Yesterday only, I was watching this interview of Adnan Sami. He's a singer, and
Yeah,
he has a multiple hits. And he used to be overweight, 230 kg.
yeah,
I don't
my
know why
goodness.
yesterday I was listening to his song, and suddenly there was an interview yesterday, and in that interview, yes, I came to know about his health condition. Yes, he was famous. He was actually, all those albums in 90s very famous. But
Yeah,
then, while going through his interview, I understand that he has actually suffered a lot, because of weight and everything. That is what exactly we are discussing here. I mean,
yeah,
otherwise, just buying, saying those, listening to those audios, I always used to think that, oh, he's so famous, and such a, like these celebrities and all that. Yes, I used to think that
yes,
he's very famous and very happy and all those. But when I, that is what you would discuss. The background story, we really don't know. We didn't know how
correct.
their lives are. Definitely wealth, and again, he's from very rich family, so all those things are absolutely not with him. But yeah, there is other part of the life which absolutely no one knows. And that is what, just to add, Lata Mangeshkar, in her very last interview, she been asked that if you got the another life, then you would you like to become Lata Mangeshkar? She said no. And I know why. I know why, because
Oh,
I read her autobiography. It is exactly the same reason. The amount of pain and life
oh,
and sufferings and all that she went through from her childhood. I have written her. No, sorry, I have read her biography, so I know why she's saying no. And definitely there is always. So yes, these are some of the examples which are very, I gone through. Means, I kept that as an example. Marilyn Monroe is one of the lady. She was very
yeah,
beautiful,
my
top
goodness.
star.
Yeah.
She used to date with JF Kennedy
President.
and all that, but she suicide. Then
Yeah,
Diana is again the same. She's world famous, so beautiful, rich, princess, and all that.
yeah,
But she died a horrible death. So these are the example which I kept in mind. That yes, by look of it, it looks their life is very happy because
rosy.
of the wealth and etc. But that is not absolutely true. That is not absolute truth. Yeah,
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 very true. Yes.
yeah, yeah,
We have so many examples in India.
yeah. Exactly.
Jayalalitha, the southern actresses like Savitri, Kalpana in Kannada. So many
Hmm.
of them had to. In fact, it seems when you're famous and if people's drishti of you is not dharmic, that can
Hmm.
also cause a lot of problems. Just the drishti of people who look at you in that manner,
Yeah,
it can cause a lot of problems subtly also for you. They would
and I
just
like.
won't be at peace.
Yeah, and like the way discussion you both held, because in this, just now what we read is the planning, because that is what I today I have my my appraisal meeting. So exactly today's topic is exactly match with me. Yes, this planning
Oh,
is one of the part of our life where we do planning. It is not, an author also mentioned. I like that line, that your plan is always not 100% successful, but having a plan is always good thing. You read the direction and all that. But
yeah,
the way you both took the discussion, that is where exactly the answers come from, which is the spiritual dimension. So that is what exactly we discuss. Only there you get the answers to all this practical problem. Because just to add, yes, in my appraisal meeting and my PRA meeting and promotion meeting, I always found this thing that, the 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 boss in front of me, he is not well prepared for that interview. I have seen this many times, because
yeah,
again, I don't know this thing. And immediately you come to know that he is not prepared. He is there just there to pass that 30 minutes, done.
yeah,
He's not. And that is what I like about this paragraph today. That author mentioned that it is not his opinion what he thinks, it is your plan and your life. You need to
yeah,
plan this thing. How you're just going to just believe on his answer or his opinions. You need to
yeah,
have your own plan. And I have seen that in my one-to-one meeting with my boss and everything. They never come there with preparation to answer your questions. So yes, you have to find out your own answers. And yeah, I think spirituality is the dimension where I get most of my answer, even if those are career questions.
yeah. Very true. If you're very true, if you're a seeker, you will actually become very good manager if you follow the principles of
Yeah,
hot-paced business.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that. Yeah.
And
Last
for
year,
me,
just just a exam. Last year, in our proposal or promotion meeting, PRA meeting, they asked us to get the feedback from customer, and everywhere colleagues and all that, how they found your work. So last year, I collected around 20 feedback from customers and everything, saying that, oh, I have done really high, good performance and all those things. You know what my boss did? I was just laughing. He collected all my 20 feedbacks, big
I can
paragraphs.
I can imagine. I can guess
Yeah, and
also.
he never went any of those feedback. I know that because it took me myself. It took me around 45 minutes to go went through all the 20 feedbacks with customers and all that. What he did, he fed that 20 feedback to AI. Okay.
oh,
And artificial intelligence, and he came back with the words from those, what are the highest number of words used in those 20 feedback. And he gave me those chart in front of me. There are all jumbled of different words, and whichever the words is the bigger one, or size wise, font wise bigger, is the word which is used by 20 this thing. And he was so happy. He said that, Milind, see, I have used it. So he's talking about himself only, saying
very
that,
nice.
see how I nicely I done in AI. And you know what is the work which is the word which is the in very bold, and this thing in that whole feedback form, all the words listing 20 words, work.
Gratitude.
The word is
What
Work.
is
work.
it?
I was
Work.
laughing.
Okay.
I'm there for I'm there for work, so everybody should speak out work. But yeah, that is I little bit disappointed at that time, saying that actually, because if you take the words out of the sentence, it lost
Hmm.
all is this thing. You need to understand
Yes. Yes.
what the
Yes.
person is.
Reference. Yeah, context will be lost.
That
Yeah,
exercise
the
can
boss.
be that process that he did can be a
Yes.
good thing in another context, not in this context,
Uh-huh.
where
Yes.
actually the keywords have their very high significance.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
actually it makes sense. Here it
Yeah.
may actually may not actually give a proper view.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's
Like
the
yeah.
universe.
hmm,
No, maybe it's the universe saying that it's time you become your own boss because
Yeah,
it'll
yeah,
work
yeah,
for you.
yeah. No, that is what exactly I
Can I
like to
ask?
discuss.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Binalji, yeah, please.
Uh, Sorry, I joined late because there was so much of work and many things. But I got the opportunity to talk with all of the amazing people out here. So Milenji out here and Blissful Bikashi, Ameshi. Thank you so much for this book. This has, Milab, I have not started yet, but listening to your conversation about this Lata Mangeshkar and everything. So what keeps them think that they are not good and the life should be different? They are all world famous. They everything is so good. Still the same thing.
Maybe,
Okay.
Sorry,
maybe
Binal,
Milinji.
what's the question?
What's the
I didn't.
question? Yeah. What makes them think that they are not good enough? Actually, I think they will have certain expectations also. And I think like Lata Mangeshkar, I don't know, Milji will know better. But I know other famous actors and actresses, they felt misunderstood and deceived by people. People were after their money or they were after them for some personal gain, which was not a dharmic thing. So they go through a lot of, after receiving so much of love and affection from people, in contrast with individuals who misuse them badly in secret behind the scene, they go through lots of pain like that. So that some examples like that will be there.
And in particular for Lata Mangeshkar case, if you know Milinji, you can share because you have read her autobiography.
Biography, yes.
Okay, oh, her
Milinji,
story.
are you?
It's all
Uh,
it's all her biography spells everything from her childhood. Means there is no that much of time. But what Ramesh ji said, actually the whole reason for all these famous people, yes, they are famous for our eyes, from our perception. I can give the example of Marilyn Monroe. I watch her documentaries. Then Lady
oh
Diana.
God.
I watched that. I especially watched those documentaries exactly for the same reason. She
Mm.
was mistreated. She was very famous. She was very beautiful. She used to date with Kennedy, so such a high profile and all that. But the
Yeah.
death she had, suicide death and all that, overdose, drugs and all that, is not at all good. The only one reason which she actually mentioned in many letters to her, she haven't received a true love in her life. Okay.
Lonely. Yeah.
Lonely, she was feeling lonely. And I can mean, once you go on through her documentaries and all that, you can feel that people, she's from, again, orphanage and all that, not proper childhood. So she
Yeah.
carried that feeling, this thing. Yes, she is beautiful and all those things were there, Hollywood star and everything, the whole world is after her, for her beauty, which I also appreciate her beauty. But though, but inside she's very lonely. So
Yeah.
those are the things in Lata Mangeshkar. Exactly the same. Her family, her father died at the age of 13 or 14. That whole family responsibility, 4 5 siblings with her. She was the
Sisters.
only earner. So from that day to the end, like very simple example which she shared, when she was very young singer, playback singer, uh, the director or the this unit, okay, they didn't allow her to use the parachute oil, you know
Oh.
yeah. And she wrote that parachute oil, this thing, and she gone through those kind of experience in many, again, Asha Bhosle, the way she left her house, married to this thing and all that. So there are so
Yeah.
many in her life, which we didn't know. We know only the success and this thing, but the personal life and all that, it is not that good. So whole idea of this discussion, or Dinah, again, exactly the same. She's so world famous and all that, but there is so much politics inside her house, and this and that,
She was very
people
lonely.
around, paparazzis and all that. So when I watch those documentary, you really feel why exactly those people are happy, because they are happy from not happy from within. Okay, so the whole reason of this discussion is why I kept this example, just to prove myself, just to this thing myself, that money, wealth, happiness, or this thing may not bring you, not going to bring you true happiness. Okay. That is what my whole, like, 30 years, whatever I'm this thing after happiness, what happiness is, why people this thing, I got this example. No, happiness is not there, absolutely not.
Yeah, I agree. Money is not something that will bring you happiness, but
Yeah.
actually, money is one of the factors. It is useful to have, not have to go through a lot of frustration and stress to just live your life comfortably in the way, what you think comfort is. Money is one of the factors, but of course, ultimately, it is trupti. I think really boils
Yeah,
down to your
because
prarabdha karma.
you mentioned last time, right? We discussed
Yeah,
this one. Like,
correct.
there is everything as you need, but there is nothing for
Yes, in
greed. It is the
balance.
greed part which makes this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know whether we answer Binal's question or not, but yeah, this is some of the this thing. Yeah,
Details. Yes.
yeah.
This is the story I feel of everyone. We say in some areas we are good, some areas we are not that good. So how can we find a correct balance? And what is according to you happiness?
Sorry, some of the area which you are.
See, in life, obviously, some of the areas you are very good, and some of the areas you are not so good.
I think for each person, the balance comes only when we connect with our higher selves, when we are at ease. Because yes, we all have our faults, we all have our plus points. So if we are able to identify, they say normally when we are younger, in our 20s, 30s, and 40s, and 50s, if we can identify our faults, our anarthas, and then actively and honestly look for an antidote. Every fault will have an antidote. If you look for an antidote in life, on with honesty and honesty, you will the Lord will show you the antidote. It could be anything. It could even be a compensatory. It could be an exercise or certain types of foods or a certain behavior pattern change. And suddenly we'll find that that same relationship problem or health problem or finance problem won't revisit us then. And once we become old and we're not able to wear a mask anymore, we would have cleansed ourselves of our negative qualities so that we grow and blossom into like fine wine in old bottles. We become we really kind of enjoy the kind of in the August years of our lives, because it seems many people, they actually sit well within their personality only in their 50s and 60s. It is not in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, when people are still struggling with who they are and what they want and things like that. So if we identify our weaknesses and work on it honestly, as per a prarabdha, the results will show up.
I don't know whether because he has a time or not, because I have some special saying
Yeah,
on this one.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
do we
yeah.
have time?
I have, yes, I have today.
Okay, yeah. So
So,
very quick answer to Binal's question, which is again,
yeah, sure.
I'm again, I work on this area in my career and all that. I came across this type of questions in my house. I discussed this with my wife because she's also working in a bank. So okay, so answer from me on this one, Binal. um, Two things, okay? Strength and weaknesses, okay? uh, we all agree that we have limited time, okay? Limited
Yeah.
resource is the time, our time, our attention, our energy and money. This is all limited resources which we have, okay? And if you see, if I see my life, okay, I'm here, whatever I'm position is because of my strength, okay? The
Hmm.
world salutes the strength. I'm in my job because of my strength, okay? And I want to use all my strength, all my time, everything just to work on my strength, okay? First of all, okay? Because everything wants your strength, not your weaknesses, okay? When you say that you want to work on weaknesses, why to spend your energy on studying those weaknesses or seeing that, okay, what are your weakness part and all that, okay? Yes, we read a lot on this one saying that, oh, we need to work on our weaknesses and all that. Why to spend time on that? Better spend your
Oh,
time on the strength first of all, okay? Like the example which I give normally is like, suppose you have a fountain in your garden, yeah? And it's there is some pipeline, it is a pipeline which provides supplies the water to it, okay? And it is clogged, okay? And it is say it will cost you 50,000, okay? So in, or there is another option where you can build a new fountain of the same cost 50,000. So which option you will go?
hmm.
Repairing the old one or the buying the new one? Okay, my option, my this thing is just go with the new one, 50,000.
New
Okay, in
one.
the same way, because weaknesses are all from your past, okay? Whenever you start analyzing, you are analyzing your past. So better to spend time on your strength and find out something new, okay, and
Yeah.
work on that. And
Yeah.
if you and okay, and if you really want to work on your weakness and perfection, imperfections, okay, then the answer which I found, okay, I'm sharing with you, is read the Zen principle wabi sabi, okay? If you read those wabi sabi principle, then you will understand those imperfections are there for reasons, and you can make
Yeah.
positive outcome of it. Read that
Yeah.
Zen
That's
wabi sabi
true.
principle. You will love
Yeah.
that, after reading that. I really start loving my imperfection as well. What they do is
Hmm.
basically, for the broken pot and all that, they feel the gold inside it, okay?
Yeah.
And it becomes, sometimes they actually break the jar, okay?
Yes,
And
Japanese
then
do
they
that.
feel the gold inside it. I really love that analogy, and because of that analogy, I start seeing whatever happened in my life, unfair experiences that we say normally. Now when I see it, those are all blessings,
Yes.
so you start pouring the gold inside it. See, there is a beauty in that imperfection. Then there are no weaknesses actually, you know
Yeah. You
yeah,
very nicely said, Milanji.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
In fact, the Japanese do that. They actually,
Yes,
when you break a teacup, they
yes,
purposely glue it back and put it on the showcase to show that
exactly.
it's not just about when it's broken, it's gone forever.
Yeah,
Be it a relationship or your situation, but we have the strength to put it back together, and the whole thing after it's put back together is stronger than before because now you know
yeah.
how to handle the
Yeah,
situation.
that
Yeah.
is what in that book Ichigo Aichi, because they put that in a showcase just to show the history of it, you know,
Yeah.
like the lion with scars. So those imperfect weaknesses are not no need to find a balance and all that. They are there for the
Mm.
purpose, and it has the positivity. Both the things
Yeah.
are positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
was
we need to.
nicely.
It is just a change.
Yeah.
We need to change the perception, the way we
Perspective.
look at
Yeah. Yeah.
this thing. Yeah,
Perspective. Correct.
perspective.
Thank you,
Yeah, yeah,
Milanji, for
yeah,
wonderful
yeah,
analogy.
yeah.
But
Yes.
still, imperfection is imperfection. Sometimes it is depleting a behavior, and you're repeating the same patterns over the years, and you realize you're still in the same game. You're in 2015, 16 also, you're in the same put. Right now, also, I'm seeing, and there's no change in that. So that's what it kicks. Yes, we have not moved.
Binal, for
That
that,
is that is
just so sorry, Bikaji. Okay, for
yeah,
that
yeah.
you need to join Bikasji group. I'm telling you, definitely we'll work together in future. But my idea is to, yeah, you need to join Bikaji, because when you say that in 2015 something was there and now it into after 10 years it's not working, it's not changing. First of all, this is all our perception. Okay, there is nothing speak, nothing this thing. There is no imperfection. This is the way you think. Those are imperfections. Okay, I can give you n number of example where the people are, I don't know what the word that is. They are not able to speak properly. There is one word for it. Okay, but they are in the movies, in Marathi industry movie. They are there for 20-30 years. Then are you going to tell them? Are you going to say that it is an imperfection of the way this thing? No, like in Hindi movie, Kesto Mukherjee, he was in 80s, 90s. He was the best comedian. So they are the best because of their imperfections. So we need to work on the imperfections. Okay, but if you start seeing those like a negative, it is going to hurt you. So it is not
Yeah,
the
yeah,
external
correct.
world.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely no.
yeah.
So yeah, just
In fact,
sorry
what you
Bikaji, just I'm in flow. That's why.
No,
no,
sir.
in fact, yeah, in
Yeah.
fact, what you were saying was that it is very true that your perspective has to be towards your strong points and to focus on where you want to go.
Yeah.
But by identifying the imperfections, I just become aware that these are
Yeah.
areas I have to work on, and
Yes. 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 Yes.
I
Yes.
constantly focus towards the positives and work on it. But yeah, what you just mentioned, really put things in perspective. I feel yes, it's more important to focus on the positives, and then if you identify the negatives and just leave it aside, with your positive intentions, those things can get addressed just by you being in action.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, very rightly said, both of you. Thank you. And only one or two lines I would like to add here. I understand, Binalji, and I thank you for admitting that this is not your story. Actually, many of us actually face this kind of heat, wherein they don't see much of difference in their life. It is the same before 5 years also. It is the same today also, and before 10 years maybe. So the main thing which differentiates is how what on a day-to-day basis we are doing to bring more clarity, and what clarity we are deriving, what is the process that we are following to execute, to have a proper accountability and execute on the plan or the clarity that we got, and bring a change in our life. If we are constantly not putting our time and energy in that, then we are just there. We might be
Yeah.
getting many insights. We
Yeah.
might be getting many insights actually during our course of life. We will say, wow. But again, that will also vanish unless until we have the bottom line is what actually is what we are doing on our day-to-day basis thing that brings us the difference. And for that, actually, I agree that it is not that easy. That is why actually I'm not promoting my own group, but
No,
yes.
because it is not. It is not. You are promoting your batch and all that. Okay, wherever I get chance, definitely I will ask people to join your this thing because the I took the decision to leave Jersey and coming to London after 18 years. Okay, it is not like there is some push or something. It is my own decisions
Yeah.
to move to the different country. Okay, it is a complete new setup. Setting the whole life again, after 18 years. Many of my friends saying that how you are so confident and you can take this. We were planning this for many years. We are not successful, and I'm on the last stage of final stage of this thing. Means I am completely shifting. Okay, now if you ask how it became possible for me, it is very simple. The magic book that we read in this particular group. Okay, because that is what exactly because you mentioned just now. Okay, it is a daily practice of that at that time I realized saying that there is so many things in my life to be grateful for, which I not used to do it, but we started practicing it, last 1 year and all that. And then I started realizing. So that is what the key word which you said. It is a daily practice, daily accountability that helped me last 1 year. So
Yes.
it is not like you are promoting your batch and all that. Yes, definitely I'm getting benefit from there. So it's my this thing duty actually to go to outside people and say that yes, if you want to realize the difference and want to this thing, then you need accountability and you will get in this group. Simple. It's not promotion actually. Wherever you get the value, you have to,
Yeah. Thanks
yeah,
for
yeah,
the
absolutely,
kind words,
absolutely,
Malinji. Yeah. It is again.
Definitely,
I would
yes.
say it is not only the like the group, but it is the people in the group also. They are also very
yeah,
much
yeah, absolutely,
aligned, and the community. and the accountability. These are the two things, and maybe the strategies, the process that we follow, how well it is organized. These three things brings the key result. Alone, it
Yeah.
is really difficult to
No.
achieve, and
No.
I have faced a very big challenge in my own life. And then I thought that, okay, what is it actually works, and why not extend the same thing to others also? Because everyone wants,
Awesome.
bottom line is everyone wants to improve, but they are stuck
Yes.
because there is no clarity, there is no such kind of process or a
Yeah.
community exists. So that is why I have come up with this
Good. Good.
process.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Prakash ji. Yes,
Thank
definitely
you.
helpful.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely made a difference in my life. There's no doubt about it.
Yes, yes. Ramesh is more, he is very, very, like I would say, the kind of commitment and accountability that he shows, actually, he surpasses me also many times. Because I believe that it is not only that I say, but what I say, I do that and then I lead. And I am also participating in that. And I'm so glad that other participants have gone so become so well that they are doing much better than me at times. So it really feels good, and Ramesh is one of them.
Awesome. Awesome.
Really proud to say that.
Oh, thank you, Prakash. But I like you mentioned, it definitely is the people you have attracted. The group dynamics has worked very well. I think I've made some amazing friends in the group. Milinji,
Yeah,
Suresh
I
ji,
do.
and
Same. Same.
others.
Same here.
Yes. Yeah,
Same.
That is really,
all as
yeah,
jewels.
yeah, that inspires me. Yes, definitely.
Yes, yes. Yeah, great discussion today actually.
Awesome.
Unexpected. Yes, that's
Yeah.
We
amazing.
should have such discussions so that it is beyond the book, but definitely it aids to our own life. And
This is a true satsang, actually.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
In the
We
Gurukuls,
believe.
they used to actually have honest
Sorry.
discussions between the gurus and the shishyas like this. Great that we are having these honest discussions about life, because it actually alters our perspective towards our own life and makes us much more powerful in such a way that we start inspiring people around us in our communities, and that's very important right now in the world. That people become
Absolutely.
more and more
Absolutely.
sattvic.
bringing a difference. Yes, if we can be the light and become the means to bring a difference in others' life, then
Yes.
nothing like it. It
Yeah,
is
it's a
again
need of the
the
hour.
yeah.
It's urgently
The
needed
one,
now.
yeah, the one thing which I observed, why I'm so open in this particular group, or I can ask any questions on this thing, because the spiritual dimension, I can go in depth with Bikaji, Rameji, with you discussing this thing, or I can say something and then you can explain me better this thing on that dimension as well, because normally otherwise outside people just it is peripheral discussions which is not
Yeah.
at all going to resolve any of my, which I know. So that's why I love to discuss those. That is what at the beginning I mentioned.
Yes,
It is
yes.
office appraisal and all that. I can directly go into the dimension of spirituality and discuss with it, but at the same time I can discuss the practicality of it, with you all, saying that okay, I'm finding this
Yes.
this this thing is open. Otherwise normally you don't find people and time actually. Nowadays everyone is on messaging and it doesn't help.
Our base is spirituality, and we all are birds of the same flock. So we are
Yeah.
together, and we can relate to each
Yes.
other better. And definitely, I would say for everything that we are looking answer for, spirituality has that answer.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
But this is one word again. But the more and more we practice, the more and
yeah,
more we
true.
explore, that brings the true answers. Actually, it may be little injustice to say Vinil's answer as spirituality. I mentioned in
No,
chat,
but
but
again, because
that
again,
is the
Congress
case.
means other day I was surprised when Friday you took that whole meditation session, for
Yeah,
20 minutes for 21 people. I was surprised that how you can touch that spiritual topic there in the group of big
yes,
group where everyone is there for reading the book or knowing something about the book, but you
yeah,
directly drawn them into this thing. Then I thought, no, definitely that is required. At least they should know that there is a light. You know
yes,
it
yes,
is not just your planning or how you do the planning and everything. At the end it is a soul consciousness, and I really like you took that step. Otherwise I am still hesitant to speak any spiritual related terms in outside world. I normally do not do, but definitely in this group I do. No, no,
yeah.
no hesitation here. But yeah, you done that last Friday.
Yes. So I'll tell
Awesome.
you actually one amazing thing happened after that.
Uh-huh.
I thought of telling you in private, but now let me. Now we are so close to
Good,
each
good,
other.
good.
So what happened actually that day? Before few days, actually, one of the participant from FLD only that kind of after she heard your feedback about our group. Actually, she asked me a few things, and then it somehow subdued it. But on that day, after the meditation and after the things that I have given the presentation, and
Yeah.
definitely your feedback is also has also given a positive impact. And she was so impressed. She said, "I want to enroll, but the only difference that she asked is it is not 3 months. I want to enroll for the full year." And she did it. She
Awesome.
asked for some discount,
Very
and
nice.
I gave. But she said that I am so committed, I am so impressed, and I want to implement. And this is all about implementation, and I
Yeah.
am
Yeah.
in for the full year. This is the first case actually I have given the to anyone the full year subscription. Many
Awesome.
times actually, 2 3 times actually, many others have asked, but I was little confused whether to go for it or not. Then I said, okay, if she is so committed, let me actually give it. So I wholeheartedly thank you, Milanji, because the first instance actually, because I am little poor in promoting. It sounds like a promotion, but it is saying
No, it's
something.
not.
Yeah,
It's other.
but if
It's other.
someone else is saying, then that makes a difference actually. Who has
Yeah, yeah. Makes it
realized
valid, yes.
what is the value of it, and they are saying that brings a big difference.
Much
If
more
I
value.
say I
Yeah, yeah,
feel that
definitely.
okay, am I promoting something? So I give a little, very little insight about the group in the FULD session that okay, I have something a setup where actually I can help you if you want to progress in this aspect, but nothing more than that. But before that, I think last week, Milanji, you have mentioned few points actually in that group.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
do that.
when you have presented actually
Yes.
Ikigai,
Yes. I remember.
Ikigai. So
I
that
remember.
also, yeah.
Yeah. I remember
So
that. And
yeah,
the whole reason, because the whole reason is that, see, it is there is no point reinventing the wheel. Okay.
yeah,
If you are already doing that, there is no point me starting another group and doing exactly the same thing what you are doing. Okay. So my
yeah.
simple thing is, you are the best in that this thing. So if someone comes to me in that direction, then my this thing, like for example, Pinaki does the NLP action this thing. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
join his this thing also. I join his 2 and 3 batches. So someone comes from that mentality,
Yeah.
they that kind of questions and all that, I read I direct them to him.
Redirect. Yes.
Because
Yeah.
when you spoke to people, their mindset, you know
Yes.
yeah.
Mm.
And very, and what you are doing, that is awesome, because I know people lack that, daily actions and all that. And there are no such groups and all that. If there are, then they are very expensive, you know yeah,
Yeah.
and all that. So you know that. So it is not, again, I'm not doing anything this thing. It is definitely my duty to actually tell them whatever the best happening in the world, and I'm really lucky that I found you all, you know
Thank you. It is not only you are lucky, it is we are also lucky to find
Yes.
you. So we
It's-
all have gems actually. Everyone is gems. See, one silent gem is sitting here but not talking much, Sureshji.
Yes.
Irrespective of many challenges, actually, he is like he has a very strong will that no
Determination.
matter what, actually,
awesome.
I will be there in the game, and still he is holding the fort, and he is trying his best, and he has also recovered from many of the things like sleeping issues and many things actually. Right, Surajji,
Yeah.
you want to add
Yeah,
something?
that's true, Bikashi. I'm holding on to it because I am definitely getting something out of it.
Uh,
I wrote a lot of things, but I'm learning.
yeah,
That's what I can say at this point of time. I have learned so many things from Ramesh ji, you, and Milind ji. I mean, sometimes I may not be in the game, but when I'm participating in the sessions and when I'm listening to you guys, I get something out of it, and somehow it's embedding in my subconscious mind. So
yes,
what I may not understand in the first time, but when I'm facing the world again and again, I'm using all the tools that you have provided. All of you guys are providing me the tools. that I remember and I'm applying it in the real life.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why even though sometimes I may not be wholly active, or sometimes group may
Yeah,
be
it
going
is. It is a
slow.
part of the game. Actually, everyone has
Yeah,
their own phases.
yeah,
Sometimes very active,
but
sometimes little
yeah,
slow.
yeah,
It
but I
happens
want to
with me
hold on.
also.
I want to
It
hold
happened with
on.
Rameshji also. But yeah,
Hmm.
holding on to the fort and coming back again and again, that is
Yeah,
what resilient
yeah, you
means.
said no,
Yes.
consistency. You may
Yes.
go up and down. You may
Yes.
sometimes you may be go up, sometimes you may go down, but remain in the
Remain in the
game.
game.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why I have still remained in the game along with you
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
really enjoy
Yeah.
this group.
Yes. Yes.
And
And
also he's done things that nobody else in his community would do, like stand up against injustice, like people wrongdoers on the street, miscreants. Nobody on the street would want to stand up, but he stood up for the entire street. He's been an activist, in
yeah.
fact, even that on a national level, bringing awareness to gender equality when it comes to marriage and things like that, laws. He's actually played a part in that, and
And also
yeah, I
it came in
think,
the media.
yeah, it came in the media that
Awesome.
Hmm.
I forgot the name also of that person. That became it became national news. That was thanks to Suresh Ji and him covering the event for his NGO.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Correct.
Nice to hear that people are getting benefits. And the key, which Sureji said, that he is learning. We are all learning here. Every day is a new learning, new experience. But yeah, be close to this group. That is what I try to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, it will bring a different meanings to your life. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you all for
Thank
sharing.
you. Thank you all.
Yeah.
And yeah, Milinji, you can stay back for another
Yeah,
2 3 minutes, not
please,
more
yeah.
than that.
Yeah.
Others may actually have. I'm little. Yeah. Milinji, you want to say
Okay.
something?
Thank you all.
No, no, no. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
sharing all this. It means a lot. It was a
Yes.
wonderful session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
God bless.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Take care. Bye bye.
Take care.
Okay.